Hi, my name is David. I'm from LabStar Software, and I'm joined today by Michael Smith from Sierra Dental Arts. And
Glad
today
to
we're
be
going to be
here.
talking to, Thank you for being here, Michael. And today we're going to talk about when is the right time to switch dental lab software. So tell us a little bit about your lab, Michael. How many people are in your
So,
lab and kind of what type of work do you guys do?
we're mainly a fixed laboratory. We actually kind of a joint venture. We're we just about 5 years ago we started a milling center here as well, milling and printing center. But we're predominantly a fixed laboratory. All aspects, crown and bridge, implant, various styles, surgical guide. We help a lot of doctors with planning, guided surgery, whatnot. But predominantly we're just fixed. And as far as employees, we have two part-time employees, and me and three full-time employees.
Perfect. Um, so what was your lab life like before you had dental lab software? Or before your current software, I guess I should say.
Um, Very chaotic. I tell people all the time, I never knew how disorganized that I was until I
Yeah.
actually had a software to keep up with everything, because I'm kind of in certain aspects, I'm a little cheap in a respect of, I just don't throw money around because we don't have a ton starting off. But even back when it was just me as a sole owner, and it was just me working out of a couple of rooms, that's kind of when I did start with you guys then. And the way that I was doing, keeping up with my cases, the way I was communicating with my doctors, everything was very analog. And that really, me being a digital laboratory, I'm very digital now. As a matter of fact, 97.3% digital, um,
Hmm.
and even in the milling center as well. But being so digital, I had to have some type of a digital communication platform. And a friend of mine turned me on to you guys, and that's kind of where we began. And I fought it tooth and nail. I'll just be honest with you, but
Yeah.
when I got a hold of it, and of course, you helped me, Jeff helped me, all you guys helped me, kind of walk me through it. And, here we are today. And I tell people all the time, like, you can't function without it. Not in today's world, anyway.
Was there a specific breaking point for you? Like, because I know you said you kind of were hesitant in the beginning, but was there a specific event or a few events that were like the straw that broke the camel's back for you, or you're just like, all right, I gotta make the switch?
Um, so for me personally, it was that a friend actually said that I was very inefficient.
Okay.
Just kind of called me out on it, right?
Yeah.
And it really, at that point, because I'm a lab technician and everything is procedural, everything is kind of cookie cutter. This is what we do. But then we have to stop and put our artistic hat on at some point. Then we have to stop and put our function hat on at some point. And then there's kind of really a business side that we have to do as an owner. And that business side that's what I would do after 5 o'clock. So does
Hmm.
that make sense? So I kind of had
Yeah.
my day laid out, and then through that layout of my day, at the end of the day, when typically, like now, when I go home, that's when I would start on my business. That's when I would start making invoices. That's when I would start checking things. That's when I would start, calling some people back and whatnot, trying to get credit card information. The normal day-to-day business side. And that was one thing I wasn't profitable enough to have, like, let's say, an office manager at the time, and somebody to kind of handle all that. And so I needed a way that would just kind of fast track me. And so that was really when he laid it out to me, of like, listen, you're a dental technician from 7 to 5 o'clock, but after that, you're being a business owner and you're working on business stuff till 8, 9 o'clock. And then your family's wanting to know where you're at. And I'm still
Yeah.
here trying to do, quote unquote, the paperwork. Um, And then, that's where I was getting behind, and I was just looking for an avenue to eliminate that.
Well, yeah, and sometimes it's great to get that honest opinion from a friend to kind of wake you up and say,
Yeah,
that honest advice of, you're doing, great technical work, but you're, failing on the, organization of the business side, and to kind of have that
right.
wake you up is, and good on you for taking that advice to heart. A lot of people, would shut that out. So that's awesome.
Well, and I'm typically not one of those to kind of shut somebody out, so maybe I'm rare in that respect. But
Yeah.
um, I try not to reinvent the wheel each and every day. So somebody that I knew was successful and pointed something out to me, it really made me think, hey, I got enough respect for this person to step back and look at the
Hmm.
look at the forest instead of just concentrating on the trees, so to speak. But I mean, it's it was really the fallout for me and all that was how I would get things done very quickly,
Hmm.
and it just would not leave the lab. Like I was really good at getting things done really quick, but it wasn't getting out of the lab, and that's
Yeah,
where I was
pile of
failing.
crowns by the front door.
Yeah, and it was like, why am I not delivering crowns every day? Why is it getting crowns like offices will get crowns 2 days a week or one day a week? And, why am I lumping all this up? Like there's got to be a better way, because we get those phone calls of, hey, such and such temporary popped off. Well, the crown's been done 2 days. If I'd have had that already at their office, then the patient could come in, not even have to get another temporary. I don't have to stop what I'm doing to try to run something down to their office. Like there's just so many avenues that I was missing out on that I just wasn't even thinking of, because
Yeah,
I'd done it so long the analog way.
definitely. How long did it take you to make the switch to your current software? Like from this time you decided to do it and kind of feeling like it was, a part of your normal flow.
I'm pretty hard headed. I would say if I would have really just dedicated myself to it, it would have probably taken me about a month.
Hmm.
But in truth, I'm going to be honest with you, it took me about 3 to 4 months before I could finally really turn away from doing stuff analog.
Yeah.
And but some of that was just in the busyness of being alone, because I got the software when I was still a one-man show.
And also your busy speaking schedule. I think if I remember correctly, doing one
Yeah,
of the
that's
trainings
great.
with you, you did a training from an airport between
Yeah,
speaking engagements. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's
totally.
true.
Busy lab. You got to carve out the time and make it work.
Yep.
Um, any general advice you would give to a lab that's kind of on the fence of thinking of switching software?
Um, yeah, I mean, it's really going to be dependent upon a lab. So if you have a lab that's typically just very analog, um, and they've got their processes down pat, then that's it's kind of hard to tell them to jump into maybe a different platform. It's kind of like if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I need you to switch porcelains." Well, that's going to be a hard sell.
Hmm.
That's one thing I tell people in this industry all the time. The worst thing that I would ever want to try to sell is porcelain, because once you learn a porcelain, you don't never want to give it up because you know how to use it. It's just
Well,
like a
yeah, it is
tool.
the same with software. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the same with software, but I think with in this age, this digital age, with multiple digital scanner manufacturers coming out each and every year all across the world, with as heavy as digital laboratories are now, like you really need a digital foundation to guide your lab in this respect, because if you don't have that digital highway to communicate with your doctors, to communicate with the assistants, with the front desk people, with tracking numbers of shipments, with ordering of inventory, blah blah blah, you're really not going to really benefit from it. But for me, it allowed me to expand. And well, I mean, look at us now. Is as you know, we're vastly growing, going from doing several hundred cases a year to we're if COVID hadn't hit this year, we were on track to do over 10,000 cases in a year.
Wow.
And that's something that with the milling center and with the lab, that's something that I was really wanting to do. And with my digital footprint and foundation, that's really what that's what sparked it, and that's what guided me along.
Awesome.
Because without that, I'm constantly on the phone. Like, one of the biggest things of having something that's even cloud-based, right, is I don't have to field phone calls and text messages of, hey, where's this case? My doctors know, their front desk people know, their assistants know. They just log in. I've already set them up. I train the office. They log in and they say, hey, here it is. If they need to upload a pic, they upload a pic to it, to the case. So, I mean, that's really kind of was a game changer for me. And that's what I kind of credit to making the switch. That's why I tell people all the time, if you're going to utilize digital technology in your lab, you need some type of a digital highway to forward that through your lab. And I'm a people person. Like you said, I speak. I live to show people new things and new ways of doing things and workflows. And each place I go, I learn something new for myself. But for them, it's just beautiful to open their eyes to a new way of doing something, because it's I don't know, it's kind of like when a baby learns to walk. Mm-hmm. When your child first begins to walk, they immediately stand up and they look at you with these bright eyes of like, listen, I'm doing this,
Here we go.
That's really what I've seen in so many different labs. I mean, at this point, I think I've been I told somebody just the other day, I think it's 248 different labs I've been into personally in the world at this point, and learned something everywhere.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Thank you so much for your time, Michael, and your insight, and take care out there.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Take care. Bye.
See you, man. Bye.